Batman Off-World issue 2. Jason Aaron writing with Doug Mankey on the art. So, issue 1 set up that Batman went off to train against these various aliens on the other side of the universe because an alien showed up on Gotham and he didn't know how to fight it. So that's off what he's doing. He's on this ship where he's effectively a prisoner / slave who has been forced to do dangerous they're clearing like the engines and like the walkways outside the ship and stuff like that.
The term "take them for a spacewalk" and then they just shove them out in space with nothing. God, it's so cruel. Like, again, it makes sense. This comes from Jason Aaron.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that comes up after basically Batman's keeping everyone alive because they're so used to when people are going out to clear debris, they're used to like X number of like the percentage of people that they send out. Yeah, they're used to people dying every time. But Batman points out that most people don't survive 2 trips. He's had 5. And he's basically keeping the others alive and showing kindness. Yep. And this is like, wait a minute, our cells are getting too full here. We have to start just killing people to get rid of them. But yeah, the whole thing shows that Batman's not only been training with this robot that they set up last issue, he's training up with Ion, the Tamaranian that he's kind of... I mean, befriending might be a strong word, but she certainly...
Yeah, can you befriend your frenemy? That's kind of,
Yeah, but she's, being drunk and giving him pointers and saying, yeah, the robot won't teach you shit. So she ends up training with them as well and showing, okay, for this particular alien, you want to, like, grab the tusk because that'll really freak him out and hurt him. So then it cuts back to what he was doing, which was the alien was fighting him, and he knocks off one of his tusks. And the alien would be like, oh my god, where's my tusk? I need my tusk. So basically, he's doing what he said he'd do last issue. He's starting to show them they should fear the Batman, right? That's the whole idea. And sure enough, so it intercuts between him training with her and him fighting this alien in the present day part of the story. So that's like the first half of the issue, and then he's in a cell with her afterwards because she also got into trouble for fighting, and they're getting ready to start their plan. She also tells a little bit of her backstory, how she turned from being a bounty hunter to being someone who tries to save the prisoners because she kind of fell in love with one of them, and to the point where she still turned them over like she was supposed to. Like this guy was a bounty, and she turned him in, but she had feelings for him, and she went back to try and find him later and found out that he died almost instantly. And so that guilt has led her to like trying to save the prisoners on this ship. So so we're building up her character a little bit, giving her some reasons to be an ally to Batman. But we get this big prison escape, and probably the heart of the story is that Batman trains the robot to go and cause a distraction and turn off because we learned this last time that the ship has like an artificial storm around it that sort of disguises it and makes it difficult to get to. Yeah, makes it this sort of like barrier to get through. And the robot goes and picks a fight with the aliens in the cockpit and turns off this thing. But the big heart of the issue is that even though Batman's ready to leave with the Tamaranian and the other prisoners, he goes off to save the robot. And Ione's like, what the hell are you doing? Like it's just a robot. Just come back. Let's just leave. And Batman encounters one of the aliens with the horns that he was learning to fight. That was the
Icarians.
Yeah. And so he tries to hold his own, and he loses, right? He's not ready to fight one of these guys yet. This is the one that showed up on... Well, I don't know if it's literally the same one, but it's the same species that showed up on Earth.
Similar.
Yeah. So he gets thrown out into space. He's dying. He's in a vacuum. And like his narration's like, yep, I'm losing breath. I'm about to freeze to death and suffocate. And it's all pretty much doomed. But the heart of the issue is that the robot, who's dying right now, has hooked up to a panel and has sent out an automated like pod to rescue Batman. And as he's dying, says, "Thank you for teaching me how to punch back." Right? He's never punched back. And I was like, oh man, for all the kind of like the tough Batman talk in this, where he's like, I'm going to show them, I'm going to remind them, like. When you get to the end of this issue, and it's like, oh no, he was treating this robot like he's new Robin, and this robot.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Punchbot is proto Robin, you
and
know?
as he's dying, he's saving Batman's life. It's such a great little thing. I was actually really surprised that we got off the ship by the end of this issue. You know, Batman's...
Yeah, me too.
He's crashed on another planet or a moon or something, and he's helping this alien tribe who have been scared because these wolves have been coming out and killing them every night. So Batman's like, I'll deal with the wolves. So the end of this issue is Batman going to this cave and fighting this like really mean-looking alien wolf.
Yeah, this is the feast ends here, which is kind of badass.
Yeah,
you know, he's...
Yeah, so it's going full Batman's larger than life. He's like, I might not be at Gotham, but I'm still home because I'm still helping people. I'm still fighting the bad guys, kind of thing. Yeah, Doug Mankey's art's very good.
Yep.
His bat ears are maybe a touch short at times for my taste, but it's nothing too extreme.
Yeah, but on that last page where he says the feast ends here. They get bigger, but it's almost because he's becoming a monster himself. Like we're looking straight on him, So yeah, this is something I noticed.
Yeah,
I'm gonna talk about Ione or Ione, whatever her name, however you pronounce it, the Tamarinian. How she's essentially the anti-Starfire.
Yeah,
whereas you're right. So she came. Her backstory is. She's from Tamaran. It was tropical paradise. The air smelled like perfume. Everything shimmered. Everyone was a hugger, drop dead gorgeous. And I couldn't wait to get the hell off. So she goes and becomes a bounty hunter and almost embraces the complete opposite of that until she falls in love with that prisoner that ends up dying real quick. And I just think that's such a, Batman hasn't met Starfire yet, right? Like, this is an early Batman still. So is this going to inform his views on Tamaranians later, right? Is he going to be shocked that Starfire is so different, and that type of stuff? And then her whole thing too of, you don't use lethal weapons, you don't drink, you don't do any of this. You picked the wrong galaxy to come to, man. Just like her whole vibe there. So I hope this is not the last we see of her. I hope she's a character still. I hope she comes and finds Batman.
Oh, I'm sure. I think she's been set up too much to not pop up again in this story. I don't think she's going to be gone for long. I think she'll be back pretty quickly.
But I mean, shocker, me, instantly taking to the Tamaranian, right? But yeah, no, this was a fun one. Like, just the heart with Punchbot. Like, when he goes in there and he gets shot, I gasped. Like, for real. I was very sad for Punchbot. And then to see him plug in and send out the pod to save Batman when Batman's, on the brink of death. Just really good storytelling.
Yeah, it's surprising me how much I'm liking it. Not because I doubted Jason Aaron, but just because the concept isn't inherently what I typically want from a Batman story. Yeah. It probably helps with that Batman's got like 4 other comics that are all doing good Batman stories on their own. Not the main book. But,
no.
I'm thinking...
it's also kind of Batman's war world, I feel, too.
I could see that in a way, yeah.
Because he's learning to deal with these this completely different society. He can't approach it like he normally would. He has to make these adjustments. And so I like that those come into play where like Punchbot doesn't understand he can fight back. So Batman not being part of that culture, part of that society is, showing the other people that he can be the symbol, which is what Batman always set out to be, right?
Yeah, this idea that he's trying to instill, in the same way that Superman was trying to convince the ways of Superman on the people of Warworld, the war zones, and inspire them to be hopeful. This is Batman getting into a seedy part of the universe that is full of nothing but criminals, slavers, and villains, and it's like, no, they need to learn to fear. They need to learn to fear the Batman, and that's
they're too proud. They need to be knocked down a peg, and I'm the guy to do it.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's been a really fun progression so far, and I do think Ione, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I do think she is an interesting new character that is kind of his space Selena Kyle almost in a way.
Yeah, because they are very direct opposites, and she's almost kind of like, oh wow, you're quaint. Yeah. So, but yeah, I hope she shows back up. I hope it's not a long time. Do we know how many this is out of?
I don't know. It'll be at least 6, I would expect. But,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, it only goes to 4 on League of Comic Geeks.
Well, that's because that's all that's been solicited, probably.
Yeah. So, yeah. But no, this is a lot. Like, I didn't want to read another Batman book, but then, Jason Aaron got me. Then it's Monkey on the art, and I was like, okay. And now it's like thoroughly looking forward to it. Like, this is another one that I waited till later to read. So.
Yeah, this was solid. It's the sort of thing where the premise wasn't initially speaking to me, but the craft is so strong that I was just super into it. And I said that pretty much in issue 1, but I think in issue 2, because I came in this time just sort of knowing what I was getting into, that I was able to just sort of enjoy it quicker than I was before. So, no, good. What are you giving Batman Off-World issue 2?
I think this is a solid 8.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. 8 out of 10. Having a good time.